What it is, YouTube? It's your boy VE to the double L E, and welcome to another deck profile. I got, it's double deck profile day because I've had some stuff. So, I promise some spicy list, and you guys are getting it. So we're gonna start off today with my spicy list that got fourth place yesterday in my locals. We have a pretty competitive local, so I'll talk about my rounds afterwards. I kind of played like the jank, but we got there. A lot of control decks. So, my record was X01. Yeah, X01. I drew with Shaddolls, and then I won the rest of my matches. But the deck I played yesterday was PK, BA, ORCUST, 60 cards. The deck is insane, but I need to do some modifications, so I'm always going to be in the lab. So I'm just going to show you yesterday's list and talk to you about some of the changes. So let's get into it without wasting any further ado. Oh, but before we do that, I just want to let you guys know that we do have a Discord. It's called the 60 Card Court. You can join it, where we can discuss 60 cards decks, 40 or plus deck or 50 plus decks. It doesn't necessarily have to be 60. And we can hop on, play some games, theory, and just have a good time, man, and get yourself ready for like remote duels. I'll also keep you guys updated on like the spice that I am working on for some of the other events that until we get real events back. So without further ado, let me get into this deck profile. First, we start off with the PKs. So you know the most broken PK, like he makes the engine what it is. You have 3 scales. Then the second best is boots. You have the cloaks. Then you have 1 gloves and 1 greave. This comes up in this deck more often than not because your numbers are so high. So a lot of times you get to send him. For the BA engine, you have 2 graph, 2 seer, and a Farfa. Now, the Farfa is really good. Like, part of me wants to send it up to 2, but I also don't want to draw these. Seer's the worst one to draw. Graph, we can kind of, like, work around. But Farfa is really the answer to the format, almost. Because if you open up, like, Terratop, you can normal summon this. It'll blow himself up, and then you can get rid of... You can force one of the negates, and then continue playing through your combo. And that's kind of what happened with Shaddolls yesterday. I only played 2 tour guides. I should have played 3. Enough said about that. Then the ORCUST engine, we played 3 Nightmare, 1 Wand, and 2 Skelly. We didn't play Girsu, mostly because this deck is... I can't combo using Girsu, and I didn't use Scrap Recycler because Scrap Recycler, at this point in time, doesn't really have, doesn't have synergy with a whole lot of stuff, except for like Kagamucha Knight, where I could send and then combo through that way. So I may try it out, but you also want to mitigate your normal summons, and you have 3 scales and the tour guide. So you kind of want to mitigate that, but it's something we may try in the future. And then the 1 card combo, Terratop and Tekutop board, you can get your full board from there. Then our extenders. So I played 1 Kagemucha Knight because I couldn't find my other 2. They're here around here somewhere. So I put in Junk Forward. This card, these 2 will definitely be this. It's a dark monster. It helps you chain block tour guide. If I play Scrap Recycler, it will help me chain block Scrap Recycler. And then you get into your full combo, and your opponent really can't do anything once you build your board. Defrag was a cool choice for the day because you have so many cards that do things in grave. And sometimes you want the level 3 body, but you want to get some other stuff out your hand without wasting your normal summon. So this might go up to 3. And then we played 2 dangers. The Jackalope, if you summon him, great. If you hit him in the graveyard, you just summon the snake. And the snake summons himself. Then, of course, we played the Dragoon package, so we played the Red Eyes and Dark Magician. Hand traps. I wasn't super happy with these. These came out every game. The Gammas and the Drivers. And then I didn't really play against a whole lot of combos, but Droll will probably stay in the deck going forward. Maybe Ash, maybe Ghost Bell. Cards like that may come into the deck. Level threes are kind of important, so I may just go with the level 3 hand traps. Then the spells. So we got one Foolish, the Power One of us, one Rhoda. Then we have 3 Allure. These are so pretty. Then you have 1 Babble, 1 Return, and 2 Droplets. Droplets is good. Again, like you want cards that use utility, send cards from your hand. I thought about playing 3, but I keep drawing 2 when I play 3, so I'm just gonna do it at 2, and it works out for me. And then the traps. So you got the PK traps. That's all. These are combo extenders plus negations for your final board, and this is just a combo extender for when you open up odd hands. But we don't play a Soul Day because there's no space. Then we played 2 Ice Dragons and 2 Dynamiscus. Oh, and I left out a couple spells, so we'll get to those. The PK rank up, not quick launch because launch doesn't get me into what I have in my extra deck. There are 2 Red Eyes Fusions and the Call By. So those were the spells. Those are the end of the spells and traps. Let's get into the extra deck. We played 1 Rusty. Considering playing 2 Unicorn, he's just here. I may I may cut him. I may change some stuff up. Curious is broken. So basically, your combos can lead into Curious. This is your tie-in. You can pick if your hand is set up like for any combo, and if you guys want to see a combo, give me 20-30 likes, 5-10 likes, whatever, and I'll show you. Just show me that you guys want to see it, and I'll have that combo list up for you later on in the week or early next week. But Curious is broken. If you get into Beerroot with him on the field, you do get to add a card back from your graveyard, which came up once against Shaddolls. Then Verte, Cherubini, which is basically your full combo starter. You have the 2 Galateas and Barricade board blockers to fix awkward hands. So if you notice, like, the logic behind my deck, even in the spells, traps, and the extra decks, there's always some card to mitigate weird hands. Because without Barricade board blocker, what if you get a weird hand? You can make Cherubini, you do Cherubini, but you can't really go much further. Your opponent Landseers or does something where you have to keep extending. They send your Cherubini to the graveyard. You make Barricade, send Seer from your hand if you have a Seer or Graph or whatever you have. And then it lets you get the Cherubini, give you access back to the Cherubini and continue to combo. Then you have the Dragoons. I had Raid Knight and Arc Rebellion, but these are both getting cut for the other 2, the Dark Rebellion and the other Dark Rebellion. I'm just waiting on them in the mail. 2 Dingirsus and a Break Sword. Break Sword, you can consider playing more than 1 because the first one you need for combo, so you can cut some cards and play a second one if you need to. But the spicy card, the reason why we play the rank up, is Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon. So the Raid Raptor Dingirsu is a rank 8, so with the rank up spell, you could Rusty bring back your Dingirsu's effect. You could attach, or you can send, and you can pop 2, then turn this into Ultimate Falcon, or make him over here. Your opponent, make him on the other side of your board. Your opponent thinks you misplayed, then you make the Ultimate Falcon with Rusty points, and you get a free pop, and then a Cleave Towers. Any game this card is summoned, I have won. Nobody's yet to out it. It's also like your opponent can't Sleeper Poly this thing off the field, so it's unaffected by card effects. So it's really hard for your opponent to remove. You can and also if you want to side deck like Super Poly and some other cards, it's an easy side out. Side deck was 2 Lightning Storms, Duster, Double Twister, and we're just running through this stuff. These are all because back row decks suck. Imperial, because your opponents sometimes, like when you build boards, like you don't want to like lose the Dark Ruler. So a lot of times if I lose game 1, my opponent knows what my board is and we got into a grind, I'll just side this in because they want a dark ruler. This stops the dark ruler. They can't really do anything about it. And then you just kind of win because they can't break your board. Speaking of dark ruler, 2 dark ruler, 2 Lancia, 2 Nib, Pankratops, and 2 Alpha. So that was the deck. Like I said, I went X01. The deck is really cool. Like I'm going to change the junk forwards into Kagemuchas. If you guys want to see, I bought a new binder, so I got cards everywhere, all over the place, and so I'm gonna get down to the nitty gritty and find that stuff, and I'll probably put those in. I know somebody asked me why I don't play Dante, because Dante doesn't extend my combos. I try to take as much RNG as possible out. Curious, it's more of a risk to me because I did have a couple games where I did mill like the Red Eyes or the Dark Magician, but it's kind of the risk you take. Your board is still strong enough even if you don't have the Dragoons, which is fine. I also considered the pot for those cards that don't do anything in certain situations. The deck is going to continue to evolve. Like I said, this was just a test run, but 4th place wasn't bad. I played against Shadal Invoked game 1, and game 1 he just out-resourced and destroyed me. Game 2, I built my board, he couldn't break it, and then game 3 we were in a really grindy back and forth type of game, and time was called during my turn, and he had all the stops, so I couldn't do anything to deal him damage, and he didn't deal me any damage, so that was it. And then Bortle has started this crazy trend with Traptrix, so I played against Traptrix round 2. Game 1 I built my board, it's Traptrix, he can't break Ultimate Falcon, plus Dingirsu sending Pop to get rid of his traps. Dingirsu Rusty combo that put in work game 1. Game 2 he had way too many traps. I couldn't do anything because I drew all monsters. And he had an interruption for everything. And then game 3 I built the board again. He didn't have a way out of the board. Then we played against True Draco Eldlick. Again, these control decks are really like spicy, but we took that one with a quick 2-0. So we didn't really have to grind as hard in that matchup. I think he just kind of hard brick, but that deck can't break Ultimate Falcon without summoning Golden Lord, and then if you Fog Blade the Golden Lord, it'll eventually go back down to 25. Conquistador cards like that don't affect Raid Raptor, Ultimate Falcon. So we end up getting 4th place because our tiebreakers got us 4th. 1st place was Dino, just to give you guys an idea of what the top 4 was. The 1st place deck was Dinosaur. 2nd place was Drytron, some crazy build, piloted by Mr. Top 32 Shamar House. Then 3rd place was the Shadal Invoke player that I played, and then I was 4th place. Right under that was some Dogmatica and some other stuff, but it was super solid. Like I said, the deck does need to make some changes. I do have another deck profile for you guys dropping today, so stay tuned. Remember, consider joining 60 Card Court. Thanks you to everyone for all the support, for watching these videos. I know that the quality isn't the best that I can have it right now, but I'm doing what I can, and the first step to doing anything is to do it. So thank you guys for the support. It's your boy VE to the double E signing out.